All right, so I have been in this industry so long that, well, actually, let me back up. I'm sure you guys have heard of recency bias, meaning you think the newest thing is the best thing. You know, LeBron's better than Michael, which if you think that, you're out your mind. But anyway, that's a perfect example of a recency bias. I think I have suffered from what I call a legacy bias, meaning I've been around so long and I'm so old, I attach my thought process to 3D printed parts, to the original 3D printed parts. I go back to 3D printed parts in naval aviation where we were designing and fit checking stuff with these 3D printed parts to make sure that they fit before we invested in the tooling and the more expensive manufacturing process so that we make sure it printed. But those parts were brittle. They didn't stand up to abuse. They were not UV stable, and so if you put them in the sun, they were going to practically disintegrate. So for the last 10 years, as 3D printing has evolved, I have kind of almost kept them at arm's length. But I've got a buddy that's here local named Greg Massa, and Greg owns a company called 3dyak.com. And because of that, he actually reached out to me and said, man, I'd love for you to try out a couple of my parts. So I started with the seat risers for the I started with the seat risers for the RVR 119, and I thought, man, if these seat risers will hold the seat and my big ass and climbing in and out of the boat, then there's definitely something to this new 3D printed part stuff. So I put them through the paces, did a few river trips with them, left them on the boat, drove them around, basically beat the absolute crap out of them, and they stood up to the abuse. So next up, he makes me a couple of other parts, and then I start asking for some things. And over the last year to year and a half, I have become, really a fan of these 3D printed parts. In fact, there is a dash mount on the captain's bridge of my XTR 130 that has been driven around with the weight. It looks like this right here. In black, driven around with the weight of lures and pliers and bounced around and had the crap absolutely beat out of it for probably 30,000 miles because it's now been on 2 different boats and it stood up to the abuse. Greg made us the offset angled Anchor Wizard things like this right here for the RVR. And this is actually the first shot at making one for the XTR PWR, and we've got 2 different models to see which one works the best for the application. And those have all stood up to the test of time. They've stood up through a hell of a lot of abuse. And so 3D printed parts have come a long way. What 3D printed parts really do is they afford you the opportunity to do things like this, to prototype test parts before investing in the tooling, and never invest in the tooling and just make these parts priced out per piece, right? And Greg's even gone so far as to recently upgrade his process by making these new knurled knobs, which are also 3D printed. And these things make it super easy to get a little bit of extra tightness out of your knobs, but then be able to undo them without any tooling. So a couple of parts here. Again, perfect example of why 3D printed parts are awesome. I want to be able to mount my point 1, getting it off of the deck since I'm putting 2 power poles on the back of my XTR. So he made a point 1 mounting plate, and then I can attach this somewhere else on the boat or move it around. And then we're going to be putting that in the installation here pretty soon. And then we were talking about doing a flat mount which just raises it up a little bit. Since the seat on the XTR is so high, trying to reach the Anchor Wizard is a little bit problematic. So he made this first iteration of a riser and then the angled version just to see which one of the 2 works the best. And then knows I'm a big fan of olive green, so he remade the dash mount, the tool holder, organizer, lure hanger in olive green. So I'm going to switch that out. And he actually made that dude behind the camera one as well, and then made me a little mini one to start playing with. And he also made a second one for the side of the seat of the Millennium seat, which we'll cut to some of these while we're talking about it. Also made one of these top of the cup organizers that is 3D printed, but made this hole a little bit better opening than some of the other stuff that's out there for the Bubba tools that have the oversized rubberized handles, and this thing just pops right onto the top of your deal, but it ain't coming off. Like it's on there once you get it snapped on. One of the cool things about 3D printing is exactly what happened with this part right here, and I probably should have it to show you, but I'll just tell you about it, is the Bubba scale. That Bubba scale is kind of awkward. It's got the scale head hanging on the bottom of it, but you actually put it in and turn it, and then it locks it in until you turn it to bring it back out. But in the process of sticking it on the boat, we realized that this hole is a little bit too narrow, and that this wall right here is a little bit too thin. So Greg's going to add, 10 millimeters or so to the thickness, elongate this hole a little bit, and then it'll work perfect to clip your scale on and then stick your Bubba grip in there, and you don't have that clamp claw thingamajigger just flopping around in your boat. So you can put this on the side of your seat. You can put it on the back of your seat. You can pretty much put it anywhere there's a side mount option. You could even go so far as to drill holes in the side of your black pack, put the knobs on the inside, tighten it down. So the great thing about 3D printing is you can experiment, you can make a part, and you can find out if there's adjustments that need to be made before you invest in tooling, or if it's a low volume part that needs to be made, but there's not enough demand to make a tool, which will cost you anywhere from $12,000 to upwards of $50,000. Then you can get that part out there. You can get it out there fast, and you can solve, or you can meet the needs of anglers that have specific kayak model or specific rigging desires, asks, needs. Right. So I'll just say this as a legacy bias against 3D printing. I waited a long time. There's several companies out there. I work directly with Greg at 3dyak.com, but the purpose of this video is to let you know that you can trust 3D printed parts. So if you're like me and you're old, and every time you see a picture of yourself on Facebook, you're like, man, who's that old man? Then I'm just gonna let you know 3D printed parts are viable, they are durable, and they make it easy to innovate because you can make quick adjustments on the fly, and you can get products to the market fast. So again, I'll put a link to Greg's website in the description box below, along with links to some of my favorite parts that he makes. But check out the whole website, and if you have an idea for something, you can actually reach out directly to Greg. His contact information is on his website, and say, I've got this idea, and then he can bring it to life for you. So do me a favor, guys. Thanks for watching today's video, but if we can get this video to 500 comments and 500 likes, I'm going to give away a $100 prize package to anything you want from 3dyak.com. So in order to get the algorithm to let us know that you want more of our content, I don't really care about subscribing. That seems to not do anything anymore. It's just a vanity metric. But I do need you guys to hit that like button, to comment, and then comment on the comments with something clever and witty. And I'm going to pick the funniest comment for a shout out. Like, get creative with it. But anyway, do me a favor, comment in the comment section below. Comment on the comments in the comment section below. 500 and 500, I'm going to give away a $100 gift prize package to 3dyak.com.